Enjoy this caller tune while waiting for the person you are calling to answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, couple things. I am recording the call. Okay, you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is take a statement from you, give you some advice in terms of what you need to do to protect your rights and pursue your complaint, and then I'm going to contact the police department. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So why don't you start? We left off. You were telling me that you were assaulted at your home by North Little Rock, Arkansas Police Department. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me what the officers did. Tell me what happened.
Well, I could start from the beginning. When I was arriving home early yesterday morning, around 2 a.m. approximately, I'm not sure at what time, around that time, when I was arriving home from a restaurant, I arrived home to fire trucks, and the fire department was investigating a vehicle in front of my home, which was ignited. It was set on fire. It was on fire. When I got out of the car to see what was going on in front of my home, the fire department was letting me know that there had been, the vehicle had caught on fire. They didn't know what caused the fire or what happened. Now, the vehicle belonged to a friend of mine who I was with at the time. I told them there was a dispute between my friend and my neighbor earlier that night. And I believed it was ironic how the two gentlemen were in a fight, and then we come home and my friend's vehicle is set on fire. Now, I began to tell them what happened. I told the fire department what was going on. I told them that there was an issue of fight, and I told them to go question the gentleman across the street who I believe, and we all believe, and we all know, set the fire on the vehicle. The police then arrived on the scene. A young officer, if you bear with me one moment, I have his name.
Okay.
A young officer came into the situation to intervene, and he began to ask me questions. He began to ask me what's going on. The whole time I am in my house. I am actually in front of my home. I'm in my front yard. We began to exchange words. The officer told me to lower my voice. I told him of my concern of the next door neighbor, and he needed to talk to the neighbor. He didn't do that. We exchanged words. The officer never said it. I was under arrest. He did tell me to calm down. After that, once I was still talking loud in front of my household, he pulled out his pepper spray and he sprayed me in my face. Once he sprayed me in my face, mind you, I have no weapons or nothing on me. He sprayed me in my face. I ran maybe 6 feet into the front door of my house to wash the pepper spray out.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Were you outside in front of the house when he initially sprayed you with the pepper spray?
I was in front of my house, yes, sir.
Okay, and at the time he sprayed you, you were not attacking an officer, you were not trying to run away, you were simply talking to them.
We were talking, yes, sir. Talking about the fire to the vehicle in front of my house, yes, in front of my house, okay.
Okay, and he told you to be quiet and shut up or something to that effect, and then he sprayed you with the mace?
Yes, I was sprayed, and my initial reaction was to go. I've never been hit with pepper spray in my life. I ran into the house. At this time, when I ran into the house, mind you, it's 2 a.m., I go inside. My grandmother was already awakened due to the fact that the fire department told her, hey, you have a car that's on fire in front of your home. She was already awakened. I run into the house. She stops me like, what's going on? I'm screaming, shouting. I'm screaming and shouting, saying that I was just maced by the police officer. I ran into the bathroom, washed my face. My grandmother then was then pushed by the police officer. He entered my home. Once he entered my home, I ran out the bathroom and I told him to scream, stop being so aggressive with my grandmother.
Hey, sir, your audio is going up and down. Are you moving the phone around, or can you maybe stay in one spot? Because I'm losing you. It's going in and out. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Once the officer entered my household, he was very aggressive with my grandmother. That's when I left the bathroom, showed my face, and told them, in mind you, I'm still blinded by the pepper spray. I cannot see. I can barely breathe. I told them in an aggressive voice, please do not be so harsh on my grandmother. She's old, and she doesn't need to deal with this. It's 2 in the morning. Once I did that, batons were pulled. I haven't touched any officers. Batons were pulled, and I was attacked. I was driven to the ground, arrested, and I still, after I was in cuffs, I still was getting abused and hit in the face.
Okay, now I see you have a pretty badly busted lip that I'm looking at right now. Was that injury a direct result of what the officers did to you?
The officer punched me. One of the officers, which I have both names in the household, if I can get those names, I'll have the names. Yes, once I was cuffed, I was punched, literally punched in the mouth. Yes, and the leakage and the blood that you see in the picture, that's where I was breaking down in my house in the hallway. The leakage that I sent you was the direct result of the punch, the blow to the face.
Okay, now at any time during this incident, did you ever try to, strike an officer or do anything that they could consider that was aggressive?
I definitely raised a hand to an officer. I couldn't even see the officer because I was blinded and I couldn't even see. I was teary-eyed. I couldn't even open my eyes because of the agony of the pepper spray. I could not see anybody.
Okay, so they sprayed the pepper spray in your face, followed you into the house, handcuffed you, or started assaulting you, punched you, knocked you down, handcuffed you, and then they continued to hit you and beat you?
Continued, yes. The blow to the face was after I was already in handcuffs.
Okay, now that you have a blow on the right side of your face, near your temple, by right behind your eye, is that from a strike or a baton?
The facial injuries are from fists from the officers.
Okay, and who was hitting you with the baton, if you know? Which officer, if you know?
Bear with me. The officers that I have here, officer, if you give me 1 second. Who was the arresting officer? Harton. Officer Harton. Harton was the one who pepper sprayed me. There's three officers, sir. There's 3 officers involved that I have a name of.
Okay, so wait a minute. So Officer Harton is the one that struck you or pepper sprayed you or both?
Well, I have 3 officers, sir. To be honest, I'm not sure. I was pepper sprayed. Harton was the arresting officer, yes.
Okay.
And there's 2 other officers who came to assist him.
Okay, and what did they charge you with?
I was charged with disorderly conduct, public intoxication, and refusal to submit to arrest.
Okay, now this happened last night?
At 2 a.m. this morning.
Okay, 2
around
a.m.
that time.
All right. Had you had anything to drink?
I've had water.
Okay, so you were not intoxicated?
At the time, no.
Okay, all right. And they charged you with that anyway. Did they have any evidence that you'd been drinking?
No breathalyzer. Nothing was taken. I was not even drinking that evening.
Okay, and they charged you with disorderly conduct. Did they charge you with resisting arrest as well?
Disorderly conduct. Mm-hmm. Correct. Disorderly conduct as well as public intoxication and refusal to submit to arrest.
Okay, and none of those things happened?
No.
Okay.
Public intoxication, definitely not. Of course not.
Okay.
Refusal to submit to arrest. I never knew I was under arrest.
Okay, couple things I want to tell you right away. You need to get a blood test or have some blood drawn right away, because it's to their advantage if you don't. If you didn't have anything to drink and there's no blood in your system, you need to document that right away, because in 24 hours, or I don't know exactly how many hours it's going to be, whatever alcohol would be in your system is not going to be measurable at the levels that it is right now. So as soon as you can, if you can draw blood or go somewhere where you can have your blood drawn, maybe you can go to a medical emergency room and get tested. You need to get documentation of your injuries, and you need to have blood drawn so that you can use it in your defense in court. Okay. Now there are also there are private companies that can do that for you. So you don't necessarily have to go to a hospital, but you need to look around and find someone that can do that for you today, so that within 24 hours you can show there was no alcohol in your system.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, second thing, you need to put in what's called a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request, to get all the police records. Do you have copies of the police report?
We contacted the police department. They informed us that we will not be able to receive a copy until 3 to 5 business days.
Okay. All right. As soon as you can get a copy of that report, I want you to email that to me at the same email address I gave you earlier.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
All right. And was anyone else arrested or injured in this situation?
Yes. My neighbor who came outside once he seen out the fire department and the police officers, he came outside. He actually told the police officers, well, he knows he's familiar with my grandmother and myself. He told the police officers that they have no right talking and pushing my grandmother like that. He was arrested as well with me.
And what do they charge him with?
To be honest, I am not positively sure as to exactly what his charges were. I believe disorderly conduct.
Okay. All right. Now, one other thing that you need to be aware of, if you intend to sue them over this, the most important thing that you need to do right away is to submit what's called a claim for damages. You don't need a lawyer to do that. All right? It's basically a notice of intent to sue that you have to tell the municipality that you're involved with, that you have a complaint about, that I intend to sue, and we can send you a form that you can use for that purpose. Okay?
Yes, sir. If you don't mind, give me the name of that form you just informed me of.
Okay, you can contact the city of North Little Rock and call the city manager's office or the city attorney's office
Yes, sir.
and tell them that you want to know if they have a claim for damages form.
Claim for damages form. Okay.
Yeah, and if they say they don't have one, then we will give you a form that you can use that has some generic information which will answer most of the questions you need to have answered.
Yes, sir.
All right, one more thing. You have 2 years from the date of this incident to file a lawsuit in federal court if you decide you want to do that. Now, in some states,
2 years.
yeah,
Okay.
there are extenuating circumstances where that time frame may be different. And I'm not trying to give you legal advice because I'm not a lawyer. I'm a detective. I'm an investigator. But I'm giving you some general information that you need to look into, and you should verify everything I'm telling you with a lawyer. But let me say this. You have a legitimate claim based on what you've told me. You have a legitimate complaint.
Sure.
Let me go over what I see the allegations to be. Now, first, let me just give you my credentials. I'm a retired detective sergeant. I'm also an expert witness. I do reports and I testify against police officers in federal court. And basically, the questions that would be put to me regarding your incident would be, did the officers have justification for using the force that they used? Was the force appropriate? Was the force consistent with my training and experience? And based on what you've told me, the answer to those questions is no, no, and no. They did not have a right to spray you with the pepper spray. They did not have a right to enter your home and assault you. And certainly if they assaulted you after you were already handcuffed, there simply is no justification for that. You don't get a pass on that one. So to be frank with you, I believe that the charges that they leveled against you are more intended not to get you in trouble so much as it is to protect them from you potentially suing them. So I don't think they really care whether these charges against you are going to, boost their arrest stats. They're doing this to cover themselves. And to cover themselves, to justify the use of force that was applied in this situation, they have to demonstrate that you were behaving erratically, that you were resisting, that you were fighting them. And they're going to try to do that. That's where they're going to take this. So I'm going to call the police department and have you on the line. I'm going to try to get some general information about what their complaint procedure is. So can you stand by?
Yes, sir.
All right, just a minute.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You have 2,562 minutes.
You have an emergency, hang up and dial 911. Usted tiene una emergencia, puede llamar el 911 para If you need the jail, call 501-340-7000. For all other numbers, call 1411. For police administration and court information, call during normal business hours. If you need to...
One moment, please. You have entered an invalid extension.
If you have an emergency, hang up and dial 911. If you have an emergency, hang up and dial 911.
Si usted tiene una emergencia, cuelgue y llame el 911. Para español, marque el 3.
If you need the jail, call 501-340-7000. For all other numbers, call 1411. For police administration and court information, call during normal business hours. If you need the police officer, press 2. Press 0 to repeat this message.
One moment, please.
Northwood Rock Police Communication Team.
Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me how to file a complaint against one of your officers?
Okay, what I can do is I can take your name and phone number, and I can have a supervisor call you, and they'll help you start from there.
Okay, let me give you my number. You ready?
Okay, yeah. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Mr. Kamau, spelled Kamau.
Okay, and your phone number?
Phone number is 800-473-5097, extension 3.
Hold on, just
Bless you.
excuse me.
That's all right.
Extension 3. Okay, and do you know the officer's name?
Yes, it's Officer Harton.
Okay,
Okay?
I'll have a supervisor call you.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, sir? Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need your name. I didn't get your name in the previous call we had. What is your name?
It's Ariel, spelled A-R-I-E-L. For the last name, Barrios. B is in boy, E-R-R-I-O-S.
Okay. All right, Mr. Barrios, two things. Did you fill out a complaint form on our website yet?
No, sir.
Okay. I need you to go on policeabuse.com, fill out a complaint form. There'll be a series of questions we're going to ask you. You don't have to put a whole lot in the narrative section because I have most of your complaint, but we're going to help you, okay? So when the police department calls me back, I'm going to be recording the phone call. I will give you a copy of that phone call. It's going to be probably the officer trying to give me some information. I don't know. It may go good. It may go bad. I don't know. But I'm going to record that call. And after you get the complaint form filled out, we will give you a call back on Monday to follow up.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay, now one more thing. Your story is on the front page of our website right now. I'm going to be referring the police department back to that page to tell them to look at your injuries. I have your photographs on the screen right now. Excuse me. Do you have any problems with that? If not, we won't post it, but I think it should be posted.
Not at all, no, sir. No problems at all.
Okay, perfect. All right, sir. Get
And as
that.
we're speaking, I'm outside, just so you know, a police squad car just actually slowly passed through my house. I'm not sure. That probably doesn't mean anything, but they're out here still.
Well, I'm concerned about it because there may be some retaliation if they think, whatever they think. So just know we will help you. If they do anything to you, you guys called the right number previously. Call that number again. We monitor that line 24 hours a day, and we will help you. If they come out to your house for some unknown reason, call me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamau.
All right,
I will
Mr.
go ahead and get that stuff filled out on the website right now.
Okay, perfect. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.